Alright guys, my name is Shane. Welcome to the shop, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I just wanted to give you a quick update on the Pratt Whitney lathe behind me here. Getting some of the ugly off it, getting some of the orange off it, did some preliminary checks. Thought I'd just give you guys a quick update. No machining videos. I do have some coming. I have a ton of work to do. I just can't quit working on this thing. I guess a new toy in the shop, so you just want to play around with it. That being said, the shop's a little bit of a disaster because it's still kind of in the state that it was in when I moved everything to get this in here. Not a lot of room in here anymore. So, but I wanted to take you over some of the stuff that I've found with this, and some of the ideas and ways I'm going with it. Actually pretty shocking findings on here. It's actually turning out good. So I'll spin you around and I'll just give you the highlight reel here real quick. But there is some machining videos on the way. I just need to get time to finish the jobs, edit the videos, and get them out to you guys. But wanted to get you something in the meantime. I thought this was worth sharing, so hang tight. Let me spin you around, and I'll bring it right back. All right, you can see the shop's still a train wreck. But the lathe is looking a little bit better, and then it doesn't have the orange. There's some crude paint here. This was just trying to color match, you know, all this original paint here. You know, like this is original, that's original. I got some of the plaques and handles pulled off. But yeah, this is all gonna get sanded down, feather edged in. I'll get some, actually I have some polyester filler, so I'll skim this and block it, get this thing shining like a freaking hot rod. But I was really impressed, one, with the gears and the spindle, but this paint's so bad that I've actually been scraping on it and just flaking off all the old paint. And you know, there's some relatively decent factory paint underneath of this. Now that headstock and everything's probably going to get repainted because you see it a lot. But if you look at the apron, just tripping over everything. I'm going to shut that up now. You look at the apron, that's all been scraped off. And that's some pretty fair paint. You know, like the columns, the feet, the bed. You look at the bed here. Switch my chair, sorry about the noise. You know, so that's all original paint, and it's taken to get it off is, you know, a little bit of real light scraping. I'm just putting WD-40 on it, some kind of a lubricant. Kind of helps the razor blade to, you know, not dig in on the paint that I want to keep. I was taking this junky paint just right off. The whole thing's been like that. The underside of the chip pan, you know, the front side here, the chip pan. Like I said, the apron, that's flaking right off. And that's some pretty decent paint. So I think we're going to end up maybe just painting, you know, yeah, gearbox, headstock, front, back, covers. I think we can make it blend in good. As for color, that's the gray we're going with. We'll go with that gray. Handles and hand wheels going to be kind of this blue. The webbing over here, you know, between your bedways, we're going to do that with like a glyptal type red. So this thing's going to have this cool P-51 Mustang type of feel to it. you know. And it's still wearing most of its original paint, which I think is super cool. Save me a heck of a lot of time too if it pans out like I think it's gonna. Spindle accuracy. I'll show you this first. So that's a 10th indicator. You know, I don't know if you can see that. That's me wiggling it. I can get less than a 10th wiggle out of this thing. Oh, focus. Yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you real quick. Almost forgot to video. Come on, focus. This is, focus, the spindle spinning. 10th indicator. I'm going to say we're pretty close. Now that's a 10th indicator. So I think we're good. I spun that around about 3 times there. And we didn't even move within a 10th. So I think we're going to, yeah. So, and that's because here and here, real close to the front, are the spindle bearings. And they are high precision, new departure, angular contact bearings, which is what's used in the Monarch 10EEs, you know, to obtain that, what did they claim, 50 millionths? Some of the older ones, 20 millionths spindle accuracy. So, excuse me. So that's good. They're not real loud. Actually, I think the one that's loud, I think Pratt Whitney like to use loose bearings for their the needle bearings in the back here, which are in here. So they might get changed. The gears inside, we looked at those last time. If you didn't see that video, go back. It's the last video that I put out. Those things are phenomenal. So Pratt & Whitney, and you can kind of see it on the spindle, how nice that is yet. It's as though it's brand new. I mean, light staining, but everything's just smooth as glass. But yeah, Pratt & Whitney are said to use, you know, some of the best alloy steels that they could get. Heat treated them, built a whole setup just to grind all the gear teeth in, and you can tell they're like perfect. You can see the grinding marks and everything. So yeah, super happy with that. I haven't checked so much the weighs and the wear on those yet. If they need a light scraping, which I'm kind of torn on, because there is some scraping marks. Yeah, if I can get you, you can kind of see light flaking. But you don't see it where you normally see it on a machine that had flaked ways, you know. Up here, where your saddle rarely travels, or, you know, back on the back here, you don't see flaking back here. And some point in these years, they did a flame hardened bed, so I'm not sure if it's gonna have to check it. I wouldn't think they're flame hardened at this vintage, but maybe. Yeah, like I said, this rough paint, that's gonna get changed up. That was just a color match situation, trying to get an idea what's going on. Same as these, you know, brass painted tumbler lines. They're gonna get done really nice, but I think they're gonna get done that color. Consider putting shark teeth on the tailstock, you know, bring that whole thing back around. The only reason I'm making it look too much like a P-51 doesn't set well with me is because Pratt & Whitney built airplane engines and they didn't build the one for that, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. But otherwise, she's really cleaning up good, and I think we got a good plan of attack. And I thought you guys would be curious to see. I mean, that original paint, that's wild that it's you know, flaking like it is. As far as grinding the bedways, if they were two out, I mean, you can see there's scores. Nothing up here that you can really catch a nail on or anything. This you can. So that means these are going to get pulled apart and new way wipers made, inspected. As far as your freaking compound and everything, these are ridiculous smooth. I mean, and they're tight too. With an indicator, they're, you know, fairly tight. So I'm very happy with that. Yeah, I'll probably be scraping for weeks, but honestly I think it's worth it. I don't know. I guess let me know if you guys think it's worth it, but I think wearing original paint like that is freaking sweet. Plus it saves me, you know, tearing everything apart. The paint, you know, here, if I can just flake it off and it matches the color I painted, everything I did paint. So aside from that, yeah, I guess I wanted to make the point, everybody's kind of grind your bedways in and scrape your bedways happy, which is great. That's fine. And it's a good way to go. But honestly, if they're not that bad and you can work around them, or you can do some maybe light scraping to true them up, go that route, especially with a machine like this. If you were to grind these down and you were to scrape them, I don't really advocate flaking stuff like this. In my opinion, the flaking should be done, you know, on the top side, typically the side your way wiper's on, because a heavy-handed scraper, I mean, that can be 2 thou deep, with a flake, you know, if they frosted it. And if you're machining, especially a lot of cast iron, you're putting all that abrasive material in each one of those little flakes, like on a Bridgeport, how they like to flake them. To me, that just kind of causes more wear. Yeah, so I mean, I'd like to see something a little smoother. But when you grind and flake these, you moved effectively your whole saddle down, or your carriage, I'm sorry. Which means that whole gearbox and everything inside needs to move. That support needs to move down. The gears, the quadrant gears that link, you know, your headstock to your gear feed mechanism, well, their gap's going to be off now because you moved everything. So you really get into a headache with that. So just something to keep in mind. That's I'm hoping that the ways turn out to run fairly accurate. I'm not expecting perfection. I wasn't expecting that with the Boyan Eames either, and that thing's really, really close. That's a really tight machine. These do have a little bit more wear on them. So I think moving forward, we're going to do kind of damage control. We're going to clean and inspect everything, put new way wipers in, make sure it's clean. We don't have just mounds of chips sitting on this thing. And I think that'll be sufficient. But yeah, definitely getting somewhere. Definitely finding some stuff that I like. And I just thought I'd share it with you guys. Kind of see, like, you know, all these doors are just flaking right off, just the same as everything else. You know, your main drive belt cover, looking good. The only thing I noticed was the reason that the forejaw is off is, I believe, where the hole was drilled for, well, that attachment that I need to get taken off of there and in a flat rate box so I can send it to Doug at Metalworks Machine Shop. when I get around to it, hopefully soon. Okay, so what I was saying, um, the chuck where they drilled it, I believe put the chuck out of balance. With the chuck on, there's a small vibration. So um, I'm moving forward. I'm hoping to find a set of Anderson wheels and making a setup so I can balance that chuck myself. It's a really nice chuck. It's not worth scrapping. It's not worth changing. Um, it's in otherwise good condition. It's just out of balance. May also check the balance if I get the aforementioned Anderson wheels that I've been looking for a while. Um, your motor pulley and your main input pulley. Um, checking bearings and everything while I'm at it. But I think that chuck was just, I think it's just enough out of balance at certain RPMs that, normally the higher ones, it starts to act up, and I don't want that. That's going to show up in your finish. So, yeah, I think with all that being said, I think that's the direction we're going in. A couple of you guys said you like the gray, and I agree with you. So, yeah, that's all I really got to say. Aside from that, I mean, I can show you a couple cool scores that I've got recently for a fair price. Cool interlocking safety parallels. Old import ones. These are knockoffs, I guess, of the Magic City interlocking safety parallels. But you're always on the hunt for stuff for the HBM and stuff. This is super cool. This needs to find a home. This is a Chicago Latrobe twist drill case, with all the sizes and different slots and everything. So that's really cool. Looking forward to eventually filling that up, hopefully quicker than I have filled up the Starrett cases. But yeah, I will try and keep you guys posted, and hopefully I will have a an actual machining video coming up here soon, because I have some stuff to do. It just started flaking paint now, I can't stop. So yeah, well, let me know what you think. That's a good way to go. I personally think it's I hope it's going to work out like I think it's going to work out. Otherwise, she's looking pretty good. So like I said, I'll keep you posted. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. If you come back a lot and like watching my channel, feel free to subscribe. If you have a channel yourself and you want one of my shop stickers, definitely let me know. And we'll actually I'll put my email address at the bottom of the screen here. Hopefully that doesn't generate too much spam, but yeah, email me and we'll get it set up. If you have stickers, I want your stickers. I'm working on making a wall to do that. But yeah, definitely let me know. Yeah, I guess all that being said, again, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for stopping.